What is Kudos and Aidos in Homeric literature? If you're going to read the Iliad and Odyssey, you need to know why the characters do what they do. The ancient Greek hero lives by these unofficial rules, the pillars, you might say, of the heroic code. 1. Always be the best and distinguish yourself over others. 2. Stand fast firmly, especially in battle. 3. Be both a speaker of words and a doer of deeds. And 4. Help one's friends but harm one's enemies. You can see that modern day morality is not exactly what they're living by. These things together are sometimes called Aretai, the worth of the hero, the things for which a hero is admired. The ability to achieve these is measured in terms of Kudos and Aidos. You can think of these as 2 jars of pennies, to use a visual metaphor. The good jar, Kudos, good reputation. These are the things that you collect in a way and that people will talk about you for positively. Aidos, the bad jar or bad reputation. These are the things you collect about which people will say negative things, and that gives you bad reputation. Each is an achievement for which you gain pennies, good or bad. So, good pennies. Owning wealth, +1 if it's booty from war, and +2 if it's gifts from other people. Owning slaves, +1 if the slaves are skilled, and +2 if those slaves are very beautiful. Prowess in battle. Now this includes dying gloriously. Speaking well in assembly, not mumbling into your chin so that no one can hear you, but being positive and being persuasive. Giving good xenia. Xenia, hospitality, looking after your guests as a host, and as a guest, being good to your host. Personal beauty. We know that they put a lot of stock by what people looked like, and if you were beautiful, that meant you were meant to be a better person. And kinship with a god. Having a god as your parent or even ancestor was definitely something to get excited about. You can also call the physical objects given to a hero or the acclaim given to a hero by others as time, the honour or honours, timai, given to a hero. Now the Aidos. Unfortunately, having a personal lack of beauty was something people would certainly talk about negatively. Losing your property, -10 if you lose it to other people and publicly. Being mutilated after you died. This has underworld implications. You may end up looking like that after death. Just ask Deiphobus. Killing dishonourably. There is not much honour in stabbing people in the back or killing them while they're asleep looking at you, Diomedes. Running away from battle. I just gave a lecture on why Paris is pretty much a plonker for doing exactly this. Lack of speaking or fighting skill. Well, fighting is a given, but again, speaking in the assembly and doing it badly is not going to win you popularity. Giving bad xenia or giving no xenia. So, for example, stealing your host's wife, eating your guests. These are all pretty awful. And finally, betraying your kinsmen, your friends. That's just a big fat no. The hero's ultimate goal is kleos, the fame achieved through Kudos, your name living forever on the tongues of the rhapsodes who go and tell your story. I mean, look at Achilles, we're still talking about him. You don't really want a lot of Aidos ruining that. Now, you can have both Kudos, think of it as prestige, and Aidos, think of it as things to be ashamed about, at the same time. They do not cancel each other out. The fear of gaining Aidos or dying akleos, so without Kudos or kleos, is your motivation for filling your Kudos jar and being recognised as Aristos, the best. A good example of when a hero gets more Kudos than Aidos is the Odyssey, an entire epic poem about that resourceful man. And when you listen, It's because of the kleos. He has both kudos and aidos, but more kudos overall. So think about how much kudos and aidos you might in fact accrue on a daily basis. How full are your jars of pennies? And which jar is going to make your reputation?